I'd just like to say we're going to get started shortly. Thank you so much for joining today. It's our 2021 Cornell Cooperative Extension Suffolk County Annual Board Meeting. We will get started shortly. Okay, everyone, I think it's time. Mark, you wanna, there's an echo, I think. Mark, do you need a couple of seconds? Do you want us to put the next slide on?
Let's load the first slide with the letter from the governor, and then I'll kick off shortly. Folks had a chance to see that. It does sound like the joiners have died down, so why don't we kick off? Hello, everybody. Good evening. I'm Mark Sizz. For those of you that don't know me, I'm the president of the board of directors for the Cornell Cooperative Extension of Suffolk County. On behalf of the board, our executive director, Vanessa Lockle, and all of our staff, I'd like to welcome you to our 2021 annual meeting. We were hopeful that we would have been able to be back in person tonight, but I appreciate the fact that Rick and team have pulled the technology together to allow us to be together safely at this time. As many as you know, our association has been a part of the fabric of our community for well over 100 years. CCE Suffolk serves Suffolk County with our agriculture, marine, community education, farm 4-H development programs. We're educators, researchers, specialists, and volunteers dedicated to our mission for community service and research-based education in science, technology, engineering, and math. And to accomplish our mission, we collaborate with researchers, all levels of government, Cornell University, nonprofits, and community groups to bring innovative programs and services to Suffolk County. Over the past 20 months, our association has needed to be flexible, nimble, and at times we needed to rethink and reinvent our programs and outreach to the community while supporting our staff as they dealt with their own struggles through the pandemic. This evening, we are very proud to showcase examples of our support as we present our education programs that successfully strengthen families and communities, protect and enhance the environment, foster economic development, and promote sustainable agriculture. We are here for you, and we strive to meet your varying and important needs, and we recognize that these needs are as diverse as our county itself. Further tonight, we'll also be nominating new board and program advisory members, as well as hold our annual officer elections. We'll also be celebrating a number of our community partners, volunteers, board members, advisory committee members, government partners, as well as our wonderful staff. On one final point, our association moved back to our main offices in the county-owned building at 423 Griffin Ave in Riverhead earlier this year. And on behalf of the entire board of directors and staff of the Cornell Cooperative Extension of Suffolk County, I would like to personally express our sincere thanks and appreciations for our county executive support, the Suffolk County Legislature's support, and the Department of Public Works cooperation and assistance throughout the process of getting us back into our permanent office space. I especially would like to thank Legislator Al Krupski, from the 1st Legislative District, Commissioner Joseph Brown, and Deputy Commissioner Eric Hoffmeister, and the entire SCDPW team for all your help that you provided for getting us back. We really hope that you enjoy our evening's program. Thank you for joining. Vanessa?
Next slide, Rick.
One more.
And now we have a wonderful video from Suffolk County Executive Steve Ballone. Wish us luck with this technology.
It's my pleasure to be joining all of you virtually tonight for Cornell Cooperative Extension's annual board and staff recognition meeting. I want to start off by congratulating Vanessa Lockel for her first successful full year as executive director. COVID-19 pandemic has turned our way of living upside down, but Vanessa's leadership has ensured that CCE of Suffolk was able to provide the support our county residents needed. I'd also like to welcome all of you back home to the county's 423 Griffin Avenue building, where you're able to maximize your abilities to serve Long Island farmers and fishermen. Thanks to the efforts of our residents to beat back COVID-19 and the county's impressive vaccination rate, CCE of Suffolk County has been able to get back to the critical work that you do, protecting and promoting our rich agricultural industry and educating our local communities. This organization is working to rebuild natural shellfish reefs, engaging in successful research to protect Long Island farms from dangerous invasive species, developing best management practices for agriculture, and so much more. I'm excited to continue this outstanding work with all of you, and I look forward to what the future has in store. Thank you for your great work.
No, that was terrific. Thank you for sharing that, Vanessa. We've asked Bruce Herklich from our board to lead the nominating committee this year, and Bruce is going to walk us through the new board and PAC member nominations. He's going to present the new advisory committee to the board of directors, as well as the officer election nominations. Bruce?
Thank you, Mark. So tonight we're going to hold 4 sets of elections for new members of the board, for the program advisory committees, and for the establishment of the new advisory committee to the board. Following those elections, we will present the nominations for the officers of the board. So, election of new board members: Christina Walschlager and Sonia Spar. Now, Sonia has filled Barbara Jordan's remaining term for 2021. This is a nomination for a full 3-year term. With the Zoom situation, we need people to vote in the chat box because we need a quorum to vote on new members of the board. I ask all current board members present to vote via the chat box. The question before us is, all those in favor of electing Christina and Sonia to the board, please signify by voting yes within the chat box. Those opposed, please vote nay in the chat box, and of course, any abstentions. So now I have to watch the chat box for a little while. We have a quorum and we have only yeas and no nays. By virtue of this affirmative vote, we welcome Christina and Sonia to the board. Election of new members to the program advisory committees. Again, because we need the quorum to show, I ask everybody to vote via the chat box. The quorum, by the way, is 10. For the farm, Sheila Rogers. For agriculture, Jim Thompson. Christina Wiley, Jason A. Neal, and Laura Arcuri. All those in favor of electing the new members of the Program Advisory Committee, please signify by voting yes within the chat box. Those opposed, nay. Any abstentions, please note them. Melissa, if your count is different than mine, let me know, but I think we have a quorum on that as well. All affirmative, no nays, no abstentions. By virtue of this affirmative vote, the new PAC members are approved. Now, the board has created a new advisory committee to the board for 2022, which will undertake a strategic review of our philanthropy and DEI initiatives. And maybe Mark's going to explain later what DEI means, because I don't know. The advisory committee members will sit for a 1-year term. Nominations to the advisory committee for 2022 are Patrick Mackesy, Richard Rudden, and Bruce Herklich. All those in favor of electing the new members, please signify by voting yes in the chat box, nay, or any abstentions.
And Bruce, by the time you guys are done, you'll really know what DEI is.
Okay.
That's kind of what we're afraid of.
I don't see any nays. I see a quorum of yeses. So by virtue of this affirmative vote, the new advisory committee to the board members are approved. Now, nominations for the officers of the board. Mark Sis, President, David Diamond, Vice President, Mike Russo, Treasurer, and Jean Schmidt-Anson, Secretary. If there are no other nominations coming from the floor, pause to look at the chat box. Do I have a motion from the floor to accept the slate and for nominations to be closed?
Motion made.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Great. Again, we need the chat box. So the motion is, I make a motion to empower the secretary to cast one ballot for the slate of the 2022 Board of Directors and the Program Advisory Committee members to be elected. Can I get a second to that motion?
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor of electing the slate of officers, please signify by voting yes. Those opposed, nay, and any abstentions. Thank you. Motion carried. Congratulations to the new members of the board, the PACs, the advisory committee to the board, and the slate of officers. Thank you, Mark.
Thanks, Bruce. Okay. Vanessa, I'll admit I'm looking at the run of show and
Oh, the next slide is Mike Russo, who will be giving us a vote on the third quarter financials.
thanks.
Sure.
We're ahead of
Good
schedule,
evening,
everybody.
Okay. I think we got an echo, huh? Okay. We presented the details of the third quarter financial statement to the Finance Committee early this evening. Our balance sheet is strong. We're on sound financial ground in terms of liquidity. We anticipate our revenues at the year end to meet or exceed our budget, and our expenses are in line. We will end 2021 very strong. The Finance Committee did approve the third quarter financial statement. However, we need full board approval as well. Also, we'll need approval on a line of credit of $3 million from Dime Bank, formerly BNB. So if there's any questions on a financial statement, either Diana or myself will answer them. But we'll also need we'll need that motion.
I'd like to make a motion to accept third quarter financials.
I second
Thanks,
it.
Bruce. Thanks. And to be clear, the Finance Committee, as Mike said, is supportive of the financials and moving forward with the amend and the extension of the $3 million line that we already have in place. So all those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
And any opposed, you can let us know or put it in the chat, and we're happy to talk about it some more. All right. Mike, it looks like we got the quorum.
Okay, good, thanks.
Thanks, Mike, and thanks, Diana. Really appreciate it. Okay, terrific. Vanessa, we're up to the executive director's
Next
report,
slide.
please.
Next slide, Rick. Perfect. Thank you all for joining us this evening. I'm Vanessa Lockle, the Executive Director of Cornell Cooperative Extension of Suffolk County. I see we have 82 participants. I know many of you know me already, but this is a very special evening for our Board of Directors, our staff, and our volunteers. It is an opportunity to recognize all that has been accomplished in 2021. A year that continued to be a challenge not only for CCE, but for the entire country. Program directors continue to reinvent and strategize new ways of running their programs. Staff and volunteers had to think outside of the box and change their routines and shoulder new policies, procedures, and restrictions in order to continue to get the work done. The results have been extraordinary. New programs have been created, new connections have been made, procedures were reworked and improved upon. As a team, CCE pooled its resources and joined forces in a new and creative way. The following PowerPoint is just a small look into the many and extraordinary things that have happened over the last year. Next slide. Part of what we had to do in 2021 is really reframe our thinking. And a lot of what our focus became of a priority was around collaboration. As an extension of we strengthened our organization by collaborating with local educational institutions, all levels of government, nonprofits, and community groups to bring innovative concepts to programming across Long Island. The Long Island community is very familiar with CCE of Suffolk, but what was very important for us to do is for us to become familiarized with each other. Many of the departments have really begun to silo and really kind of focus on the work specifically that they were doing in their sectors. And through this new lens of collaboration, we really forced all of us to look inside and work together and see what we could create in that collaborative setting. So with that, let's take a view on what we put together for our 2021 video. Next slide, Rick. And while Rick puts the video together, for 2021, the focus of the video was about who we are. I love that video. Just a reminder, please feel free to talk in the chat if you have any questions or comments. As you can see from our video, it was an example of all of the work that each of our departments were doing. This was done this year. That's all new footage. So you got to see us in real time, how hard everybody was working out in the field. So with that, I'd love to talk about a little bit of those collaborations that we got to see this last year. Next slide. Marine and agriculture, they've joined forces on such an innovative, great project known as the Sugar Kelp Project. Seaweed aquaculture is a developing industry on Long Island that holds both economic and environmental benefits for the community. Sugar kelp is being grown in Long Island marine waterways, both as a means of nitrogen bioextraction and as a potential new crop for shellfish growers. Our marine team researches and encourages the cultivation, sustainability, and usage of this seaweed, and they provide support and training necessary for local shellfish hatcheries to diversify into the seaweed aquaculture world. Our agriculture program is conducting research to investigate whether there could be a market for sugar kelp as a fertilizer amendment in our local crops. With this collaboration of marine and agriculture research, CCE Suffolk expands the wealth of knowledge from our financial resources. And as you can imagine, what this is going to do in the industry, we're very, very excited. So this started, a lot of work was done this year in the collaboration between those two groups. Next slide. Feel free to send any questions or comments on the chat. Community education, they were able to collaborate on multiple levels. First, by doing podcasts with Marine. Community education is a podcast that's called the Family Wellness Series. These podcasts provide information on nutrition, wellness, and health. And in collaboration with Local Fish Community Education, they created the importance of eating local seafood with our fisheries team. This podcast shines a light and educates the community on fresh, indigenous, sustainable, and healthy seafood meals. This was just a wonderful additive to already the existing Local Fish initiative. So eat local fish if you haven't been doing so already. The next was the Farm to School effort that community education did with agriculture. Farm to School brings local produce into schools and teaches students about nutrition. A primary goal of this program is to increase the volume and the variety of local farm products for use in child nutrition programs. Community education works with agriculture to facilitate this program. It supports the mission by finding, the agricultural community finds the local food and farm partners and developing local food procurement plans. The agriculture team also assists with bid development that favors local foods and, for example, geography preferences. So together, this promotional campaign, as you can imagine, is really changing the lives of our young people. We're very excited for that collaboration. Another collaboration that we wish to highlight within community education is not just the collaboration between external departments, but within their own division. And that is the program between SNAP Ed and diabetes. As a result of COVID, our diabetes team and professionals had to collaborate with SNAP Education on various community projects with various agencies to provide them with community outreach programs in both media and digital formats, as well as in person. But that combination of bringing these two groups together, they're already talking to the same people. They might as well work together and bring that information across the same people. So a lot of that came through some of these discussions. Next slide. Oh, and thank you, Valerie. There's so much more information on here on some of this stuff. So please look into the chat if you haven't already. So Suffolk County Farm and Education Center, we were able to see them collaborate with community education on playtime and learn time. This is a program that was hosted at the farm, and community education would participate in their playtime, learn time by having the little ones discover the outdoor space. They were allowed to be all over the farm, while the educators would be there to support the parents and education and support services. So this was a wonderful way of collaborating our educators with the amazing programming for our young people. Another thing that was extraordinary about the Suffolk County Farm and their efforts of collaboration is because of COVID. This was one of the only few safe COVID. Sorry, am I still echoing? This is one of the few places that was COVID safe to be in. So it allowed many of the events to allow for other partners. So in Bloom, that was our wellness event. Sorry about the echo, you guys. The Bloom event was about a wellness, and it was one of our first engagements after COVID that would allow people to come to the farm. We had every single department engaged in that, and it was a great event to just kind of kick us out of the rut that we were in and feeling, COVID stranded. Pride at the Farm was also, we were talking a little bit before about DEIB. That's diversity, equity, equality, and belonging. And I do that in that right order, but it is about really bringing of that awareness of belonging in a safe space. And we did provide that for the LGBTQ community through the Pride at the Farm event, and our DEIB group, as well as our community education group, participated in that. Brews and Bars was one of the first times that we were able to bring, on an educational level, alcohol to the farm. It was a wonderful collaboration with Marine that brought shellfish and local seafood, as well as with 4-H, and having that program happen at the farm. And it was just a very successful event. We look to replicate a lot of those new events at the farm too. We welcome all of you to join us. Next slide. We couldn't move forward. This isn't so much of a collaboration as more of a highlight, an honorable mention for CCE Suffolk camps. We were able, during COVID, against all odds, with limited staff, for many of you, not only could we not hire, but in some cases we were used to hire people with A1 visas. We couldn't do any of that. There was no staff. Very few resources, all the demands of regulations around COVID, wearing masks 6 feet apart, half of the campers were allowed on location. In the face of that, we were able to do so much here at CCE. We were able to go from our normal 2 camps to 5 camps. So now it's not just the Suffolk County Farm Day Camp. It's not just the Peconic Dunes 4-H camp. We were able to have Sea Explorers Marine Camp, Sea Stars Marine Camp, and Tiana Bayside Adventures and Art Scene Marine Camp included to that roster. They were no longer just learning centers. They were now at the status of camp. In addition to that, where we were normally accredited, there's the ACA accreditation. That's the American Camp Association. It's a very difficult accreditation to achieve. It's almost like blue ribbon Ivy League status for our camps. Not only have we had 1, but this year we were able to get 2 and get one for the Suffolk County Farm. So congratulations to the Suffolk County Farm, all of the camp, all of their effort that they were able to show that resilience and endurance during such a difficult time for our young people. So thank you for that effort. We look forward to seeing the expansion and the growth of our camps in the next year. Next slide. So with that, look at our 2022 lens, where we're looking at 2021 and really focused around collaboration. Sorry, you guys. I don't know if everybody can mute. I think that might help a little. So our 22 is around innovation. It really is to answer this question of what are we creating? What's new? What are we bringing to the table after we've had to redefine who we are in the face of COVID? So these are just some of the examples of the things that are coming through. Either we got huge grant funding on some of these programs, or it's just the demand for this program has increased drastically, and therefore we're seeing an increase in the initiatives in the programming. So with that, we'll start with agriculture and marine. We have been doing massive amounts of work with the Shinnecocks, the Unkachucks, the Puspatucks. We've done a lot of work with nations in the past, but this year more than ever, we've really wanted to amp up and expand on that effort. Tribal nations have recently established farms and gardens to serve as pillars of food and sovereignty. In this pursuit, they have seen the need in their nations to expand their capacity from food production to training centers. Our agricultural collaboration project supports the goal by helping to design and deliver adult educational programming and evaluate subject matter. CCE agriculture professionals will then support trained tribal staff in the delivery and evaluation of workshops in their farming communities. The Marine program will be collaborating with the Shinnecock Nation on several projects that focus on various aspects of coastal planning and habitat restoration. Very exciting work to come, and there is a ton of awareness about our tribal communities, our nations here on Long Island. So a lot to come on that. Next up, we have the Suffolk County Farm and our Agriculture Department also combining efforts in providing a spring trio due to the demand that was out there. Thank you, Sonia. Yes, it was a very important effort. But due to the demand out there for the needs for the knowledge, the education that we provide, 3 Saturday gardening programs will include a webinar by renowned gardener and author Rick Drake, an online gardening program with New York Times writer Margaret Roach, and a hands-on workshop with a plant sale at the Suffolk County Farm. So just filling the demand that's out there. Some of these things are just, they've blown up so much during COVID, and we're just trying to expand on our ways of providing that education and resource to the community. Then we have community education. They have done a program around Healthy Starts. That's now launching this beginning of this January 2020. Within community education, nutrition educators and human development educators have been creating a joint program. There's going to be 3 programs around nutrition and parenting, and have been developed. They're called Managing Morning Madness, Making Snacks Count, and Fueling Your Athlete. I love all of these. If you are trying to get out the door, the morning madness, managing it is going to be crucial to your success, especially as we're all embarking on getting back into the working world, 9 to 5, maybe not traditionally, but getting us back out there. All of these types of programs are really addressing a lot of the needs that are coming out of the community. And last but not least, our 4-H Youth Development 2022 camps. I mentioned the success that we were able to accomplish during such a difficult time. I can't imagine the great successes that we'll hopefully be able to accomplish next year, but the expansion of our camps will continue to be a priority for us as we evolve from some of our learning centers into camps. But we will continue to make 4-H a priority for CCE of Suffolk. And with that, I wrap up my component, but it lends in nicely to the discussion of thanking everybody for everything that we've been able to get to. We could not do all of these things that we just highlighted this if it wasn't for the help and support of everybody that gives to CCE of Suffolk. So with that, I'd love to start our recognition section. Is that okay, Mark?
That's perfect. Thanks, Vanessa. That was terrific. Really appreciate it. Tonight, we're going to start off with the President's Award, and then we'll go into a series of other awards and recognitions. But, the President's Award to me is it's something that I take and offer with a lot of pride. And, there's been some really terrific recipients in the past, people who have really dedicated to CCE and the county and the service there. And so we didn't have to go too far from the CCE network for our choice this year, which is Rob Carpenter. Rob is the administrative director of Long Island Farm Bureau, and he's been an outstanding partner, collaborator, and friend to our association. Those of you that know Rob know that he just works tirelessly for the farm and the farming community around him. Agriculture remains an important part of who we are in Suffolk County, and it's one of the defining attributes to our quality of life. Between Suffolk and Nassau, we have nearly 600 farms and approximately 31,000 acres, of farmland, and most of that's in Suffolk. And agriculture on Long Island faces many challenges that Rob's helping us face head on, and they include the changing climate, the rising costs, labor shortages, stiff competition, and environmental stewardship. Our program at CCE, the agricultural program, the staff there helps to address these challenges through targeted research and innovative education programs. But our partnership between the Long Island Farm Bureau, the member farmers, and CCE will continue to help to ensure the economic and environmental sustainability of agriculture industries on Long Island for many years to come. So please join me in congratulating the 2021 Presidential Award winner, Rob Carpenter.
Thank you so much, Rob.
Great. Thank you very much. If it's okay, I'd just like to say a couple of quick words. I know you're on a schedule, so I won't be long.
Thanks, Rob.
First, I'd like to recognize Mark and Vanessa for the award. This is really a great honor, and I'm so pleased to receive it. I'd also like to recognize the important work that Cooperative Extension of Suffolk does for agriculture, our marine farmers, and all the residents through all the programs. And I'm very, very pleased that Extension and Long Island Farm Bureau have such a great working relationship, and I hope that continues long into the future. I'll say it's very easy to be involved with Extension because of all the great and incredible staff people you have. I don't get to work with every one of them, but the ones that I've come in contact with, from Nora and Chris in the Marine program to all of the agents that work in ag and in your other programs, are just phenomenal, and they make it so easy to be involved. And last but not least, I'd also like to thank the Long Island Farm Bureau Board and leadership for all the support they give me to be able to help you. So thank you again very much, and keep up the great work, everyone.
You too, Rob. Thank you. Vanessa?
Great. Thank you so much. And thank you, Rob, for all that you do for us. I really do appreciate it. And it is an amazing working relationship. We will continue to support it and foster it. With that, I turn to the president. So, the Friends of Extension. I think I have Joe Brown on the line as well as Eric Hoffmeister. Sorry for the echo. Is it? Am I still echoing? My apologies. I just want to take this time to say thank you so much to the Department of Works for all of the work that they've done in supporting us at every level. Not only did they help us transition over this last year back into the 423 Griffin property, but they have been helping us with many of the issues pertaining to COVID and those regulations and compliance that we have to comply with. They've been helping us as well with efforts at the farm and ensuring that we're able to, get the work done that we need at the farm. So a lot of that would not have been possible if we weren't having a good working relationship and if we weren't there for me whenever I needed you. So with that, we just wanted to say thank you so much for this last year and all of the effort and the support that you've provided for us. And if there are any few words you wish to share, Joe, I'd love to.
Vanessa, thank you. And on behalf of the men and women of DPW, we appreciate this very much. Often we do a lot of things behind the scenes that people don't realize we're doing. The 12 divisions of DPW. So it's an honor to us to get this recognition. And it was very happy to be on the end of the process, getting you back into Griffin Avenue and the hard work that Eric Hoffmeister did and Mike Monahan, head of our facilities division, and his staff, Eric McShan, also an engineer there. A lot of work, a lot of testing, a lot of replacement of HVAC units and moving of gas mains and everything else to make it safe. So I apologize about the echo. I guess I have it too. So, Vanessa knows this. A lot of people don't. I grew up on the 7th generation farm in Western Illinois, 4-H president growing up, and treasurer of the Future Farmers of America Club in my high school. So I have roots to farming. I love being across from the county farm and get over there whenever I get a chance. I think your staff has stopped me a couple of times asking me what I'm doing over there. But I love it. Being so close and being connected to that, it was sort of a secret perk I didn't realize I was going to have coming to Suffolk County from the state. I was very aware of land grant universities growing up, the University of Illinois. So, when it came to New York, and was surprised that it was Cornell. That's a land grant university in New York State. Usually it's a big state university in another state like Michigan State and the University of Iowa, and so Iowa State and so forth. So, so it's great to be involved with it again. I love that part of it. And we're looking forward to the Welcome Center, the Education Center, and progressing that project across the street here as well. And that said, I thank Eric Hoffmeister, our deputy commissioner, really took the lead on this and did an amazing job from beginning to end, getting everything fixed at 423 Griffin and getting me back in there.
Great. Thank you so much, Joe. And thank you so much to Eric. And please send our thanks to Ken Phelan too, who's not with us today. I appreciated all the work that we did together, Joe, back at the state. I know how dedicated you are to the work that you do. I look forward to seeing that work here as well as we collaborate at the county level. So thank you, Joe. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Ken. So appreciative. I'm very excited for the year ahead to see what comes. So thank you, Joe. With that, there's a whole bunch in the chat. So please feel free to read those. Next slide, Eric. In addition, for everybody who's being recognized, you will get an award sent in the mail. So I apologize. The lack of a live event prevents us from having this photo opportunity, those great moments that we share. Am I still echoing? Can I get the next slide, Eric? Rick, sorry. Okay, great. And with that, we now start our recognition for outstanding cooperator. I hope the echo stops. Jim Thompson of RGNY Vineyards, who was nominated by our agriculture program. Over the last 10 years, Jim Thompson has been a major asset not only to RGNY Vineyards, but to the CCE viticulture program. Jim came to Long Island with extensive experience in orchard and vineyard management. His background was invaluable in managing RGNY Vineyards, formerly Martha Clara. Vineyards of this size require managers who are the complete package: viticulturally savvy, knowledgeable about complex pest management issues, mechanically inclined, and skilled in personal management. Upon arriving on Long Island, Jim stopped by the Long Island Horticulture Research and Extension Center and expressed his interest in our work. He was immediately drafted for the Grape Research Program Advisory Committee. He is a founding member of the Long Island Sustainable Wine Growing Program, helping to design a meaningful technical program, the first one east of the Rockies. In his role as vineyard manager, he hosted a whole range of CCE research projects, including under-vine cover crops and scouting, berry sampling, and exotic pest trapping programs. Under Jim's watch, RGNY has hosted numerous technical meetings and industry visitors. Currently, Jim is semi-retired, working part-time at RGNY in an advisory role. Thank you, Jim, for all that you do. Yay, Jim, thank you so much. And remember just to say your acknowledgements in the chat. I think that's always nice. Or next outstanding community partner. We have to acknowledge and congratulations to Amber Gagliardi. Amber, I think you came in as a volunteer, but after we read the nomination, we brought you in as a community partner. You were nominated by Community Education. Amber Gagliardi is an adult services librarian at the Middle Country Public Library in Centereach. Amber began as an integral part of SNAP-Ed's Worksite Wellness Committee. Amber recognized the need and desire for her patrons to grow their own produce, and coupled with the expertise of CCE Suffolk educators, she developed an interactive educational cooking program that would promote their seed library while providing planting and growing tips, knowledge of nutritional benefits, and unique recipes using locally grown or homegrown produce. Known as Local Eats, the monthly program became such a huge success that we have now run the program in 6 additional libraries across Long Island and have developed a new series of workshops called Local Eats Returns. Thank you, Amber, for all you do. Thank you for being a wonderful community partner. Yay, Amber. Okay, next up we have Bill Carlin from Marine. Bill Carlin is a longtime commercial fisherman and owner captain of the fishing vessel Brianna, regularly fishing in the Long Island Sound out of Mattatuck. Bill is also the founder of PE and DD Seafood and runs the Little Fish Shop in Riverhead, a hidden treasure of a fish market selling the freshest fish available because it was just caught. Phil has fully supported the efforts of CCE's Choose Local Fish initiative by generously donating an abundance of the finest fish for many events. And I've gone to all of them, so it's delicious. He has gone above and beyond providing not only a superior quality product, but also expertly filleting, packing, icing, and transporting this fish. Phil has hosted cooking demonstration events at the fish market. He has also let us invade his fish processing facility to collect biological samples from the fish he has caught, which are used in scientific stock assessments. He has invited video crews and news reporters on his vessel to get compelling stories documenting CCE's important projects. He is always welcoming, positive, incredibly generous, and amazingly supportive of all CCE activities. We are so grateful for his cooperation. Thank you, Phil. Yay. Next, we have Eva Pearson, nominated by CCE Human Resources. Eva Pearson has a longstanding history of dedication to community service and education, which is how CCE of Suffolk became acquainted with her. As the program director of the Social Science Research Institute with Farmingdale State College, she collaborated with our administrative team. Eva not only provided internship opportunities and an on-site project with Suffolk County Farm and Master Gardeners, she also provided permanent employment opportunities for some of the interns. Eva is a fantastic person to work with and eager to activate collaborations that assist our communities and engage her students for vital experience and future employment opportunities. We are so pleased to present this award to such an awesome and deserving community partner. Yay, Eva. And she gets all of our interns. So a lot of the interns that we get have been coming through Eva. Thank you so much for all of your dedication to us. And next we have our outstanding volunteers. First up, it's Mazzy Gilroy. She's been nominated by the Suffolk County Farm. Mazzy Gilroy has volunteered at the farm for the past 3 years. She loves interacting with the animals as well as the animal care staff. She's always cheerful with a positive attitude and willing to give a helping hand. Although allergic, she is the farm cat's favorite person and takes good care of them. Mazzy is an important part of the farm and we enjoy having her with us. Thank you so much, Mazzy. Next up, Jill Huey, nominated by the Marine Program. Jillian Huey is a Syosset High School senior working as an volunteer intern with the Marine Program on a ribbed mussel field experiment at the Vanderbilt County Park in Centerport. Jill has taken the time out of her busy schedule to visit the site twice a week to record data that is key to our understanding of this species. Jill has been scouting for the recruitment of ribbed mussel larvae, as well as dissecting adult mussels to observe and photograph spawning condition index. Jill's dedication to this work will allow us to advance our understanding of the ribbed mussel biology and reproduction will have far-reaching and significant impacts on water quality of the island in coming years. We applaud her dedication to this effort and wish her well in all future endeavors. She is the youngest person on our list of recognition, so thank you so much. So grateful for you, Jill. Lynn Mayer, nominated by the Agricultural Department. Master gardeners like Lynn are what make the Master Gardener program rewarding. Whether training farm helpers for Island Harvest in Brentwood, weeding the children's garden at Suffolk County Farm, or piloting a compost project at a community garden in Bellport, Lynn generously demonstrates the best garden practices to adults and children alike. In her own words, as noted on her volunteer report, what a pleasure it is to introduce children to the magic of a little corner of green. Thank you, Lynn, for bringing that magic to so many. That was beautiful, Lynn. Thank you. Last but not least, Antoine Sassanelli, nominated by the 4-H program. Ms. Tony has volunteered her time reading to little farmers since the spring of 2021. The children love her time with her, whether she's reading a story, helping them create a special snack, or jumping on the wagon to explore the farm. Everyone enjoys the time spent with her. Tony's years of experience as a reading teacher are evident as she shares her love for books and reading to the little farmers. She has braved all types of weather and farm settings to bring smiles to lots of little farmer faces. Thank you to Ms. Tony and to everybody in our outstanding recognition category. Thank you for all that you do. And that next slide. And look at all the congratulations. Hey, congratulations, everybody. Thank you for all you do for us.
Thanks, Vanessa. We'd also like to take this time to recognize outgoing program advisory and board of director members. As many of you know, the board of director and PAC members play a vital role in our organization. Board members shoulder the responsibility of steering CCE towards a sustainable future by adopting sound ethical policies, while our advisory council members assist the program directors by offering guidance and making recommendations. Sorry about the echo. Board and advisory council members are all unpaid, taking time out of their busy schedules to be a part of this organization. And we're really grateful for all that you do, both to those members that are still with us and those that are stepping out. So we'd like to recognize board member and 4-H PAC member Maureen Tagan, 4-H PAC member Lisa Luzin, Marine PAC Giovanni Borghese, Community Education PAC Colleen Farrell, Community Education PAC Lauren Gargiula Brand, Board of Director, and Community Education PAC Lawrence Phillips. And I'd also like to note, while he's not leaving the board, I wanted to give a special thanks to John Lehner, who is our outgoing Vice President and Head of Personnel Committee. So thank you all very, very much for all that you've done for our association. Next slide, please.
And we can't do it all without the dedication and hard work of our employees who are here year in and year out. I love this category. We did it last year. It's just amazing to see how many people have been here for how long. So we'll start with the newbies, but thank you for all of those who've been here 5 years. That's Anthony Garcia from Community Education, Bill McGrath from Agriculture, Sarah Osborne, Agriculture, Patrick Murray, Marine, Wanda Pesquet, Suffolk County Farm, Cheyenne Roth, Suffolk County Farm, Elizabeth Salzman, Marine. For our 10-year group, we have Patricia Bade from Suffolk County Farm, Kim Barber from Marine, Melissa Elkins from Administration, Ryan Charles Frazier from Peconic Dunes, Juana Huertas from Community Education, Danielle Kuhn from Marine, Dana Myron from Finance, Michael Sakulis, Marine. Sorry, Michael. Sandra Voltaggio, Agriculture, Voltaggio, and Farouk Zaman, Agriculture. Thank you for 5 years and 10 years of dedication here. 15 years, we have Rick Marino IT, who I want to thank, who's putting all of this together downstairs, losing his mind. So thank you, Rick, for all you do for IT. Karen O'Donnell from Finance. John Pretchell from Suffolk County Farm. Thank you, John. Lynn Sepnoski from Community Education. Carolyn Sokowski from Marine. For 20 years, we have Lisa Alps from Graphic Arts and Marine. Allison Grief from Suffolk County Farm. Victoria Gardran from Community Education. Matthew Scalfani from Marine. Thank you guys, 15, 20 years. Wow, so amazing. Next slide. And these are the heavy hitters. Wow, 25, 30, and 35 years. So for 25 years, thank you, Ron Paulson from Marine and R. Michael Patricio from Marine. 30 years for Steve Nangle from Suffolk County Farm. Thank you, Steve. 35 years, we have Timothy Booker. Thank you, Tim, for holding the front downstairs, administration. Tim John from Family Health and Wellness and 4-H. Greg Rivara from Marine, and Rusty Tyler from Graphic Arts. Thank you, everybody, for all your dedication to CCE and all these years that you've dedicated to being part of the CCE family.
Thanks, Vanessa. Congratulations, everybody. Well done. So before I close, I'll just offer it out there because this is a different type of meeting via Zoom. If there's any questions or comments or anything anyone would like to bring up before we close things down.
Just a quick shout out to our volunteers, all the many volunteers that we have. I know we didn't list every single one of them out this year, but we acknowledge all of them, and they'll definitely be in the annual report.
All right, so maybe I'll bring it to close. This will be the quickest annual meeting we've had, I think. So I really did want to thank everyone for joining us. Thanks to the team for putting it all together, and congratulations again to our new board and PAC members, our new officers, as well as all of our award recipients. Please check out our website for more information about our wonderful association. We look forward to seeing all of you in person at our next annual meeting in 2022. Thank you very much. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night, everybody. Thank you, Melissa, for all your hard work downstairs. So appreciative. Thank you, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Aren't you happy? 1 hour, Mark. We killed it today. Yay. Bye, everybody. Get home safe.
Good night,
Thank you
John.
so much. Call us if you need us. Bye, Brittany. Bye, John.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Jean. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
I know these are the hold strong. They've just been holding. Can Melissa close out, or do we want to close out?
You can go first, Vanessa, and then I'll close, and then Melissa will close, and because once she closes, everybody gets kicked out.
All right, well, thanks, everybody. Have a great night.
Just wanted to let everyone sign off before we shut it. So we weren't kicking anyone off. Looks like
Okay,
we're good, though.
Lisa.
All
Karen,
right,
go
well-
home. Bye, you guys. I'll see you in a bit, Melissa.
Okay, thanks. All right, I'm ending it.